Good morning, students. Welcome to today's lecture. So, in the past lecture, we have discussed about welding, then various types of welding, how welding is being carried out, what is the procedure for doing welding, and what are the defects thereafter while performing the welding operation. Okay. So now today we'll discuss about the design of welds, how the welds are designed, what are the specifications, okay, and all those things. So as you know, two types of welds are there, butt welds and fillet welds. So first we'll understand the design of the butt welds. The design of butt welds, TDW, it is given by this formula Fy LW TE by gamma MW, where Fi is the smaller of yield stress of the weld and the parent metal. So parent metal has yield stress of Fy and weld yielding stress of the weld is FYW. You have to see which one is the lower value. Okay, that FYW you have to take. That you have to take as normally it is Fy only. Parent metal has only lower yield stress, so you take this as Fy. LW, it is the effective length of the weld. What is the length for which you are carrying out the welding operation? That you have to find. T, what is T? T is the effective throat thickness of the weld. What is the thickness of the weld that you are providing? And divide by gamma MW. Gamma MW is, as you know, as discussed earlier, it is partial safety factor. Now there are two values. If you are doing shop welding means if you are welding the parts, the members in a different fabrication shop, in a workshop, then you take this value as 1.25. And if you are doing it on the site, the welding is being carried out on the site itself, then it is 1.5. Okay. So these are these values you remember. So once you find the design strength, so now what happens is sometimes you will be given this design strength will be equal to the pull or the tension. Suppose now what happens is suppose you are joining, you are welding two members end to end. So obviously it will be a butt weld. So now this butt weld, these two members which are connected by this butt weld, this is subjected to tensile force T and T, both sides. Okay, both sides of the edge of the member plate. Now this T will be nothing but the design strength. So what you do is you put that value will be given to you in the question. So you put TW as the T, okay, and then find out what is the length of the weld required. You know thickness of the weld you have to assume as per the specification. You know all other values. You find what is the length of weld. So design means two things you have to design. Remember one thing. While designing the weld, two things you have to design. That means two things you have to find. Either you have to design the length or you have to design the size of the weld. Okay. Now, butt welds are very not used that much as is used fillet welds. Fillet welds are more commonly used. You'll understand for fillet weld. Now, fillet weld, there is a specification. Maximum size of the fillet weld will be thickness of the thinner member minus 1.5 mm. Suppose you are connecting in this figure, you look at this figure, in this figure, you are connecting two members, okay, which are not in one plane. So clearly this is one member, this is one member. So you are connecting this perpendicularly. Now this is the fusion zone by this weld, okay. Now you have to see while finding the max, what can be the maximum size of weld, you have to see what is the thickness of the out of these two, which is the thinner one, which member has the least thickness. From that thickness, you subtract 1.5. That will be the maximum size of weld. Suppose you are connecting two plates which are 8 mm and 12 mm, or 8 mm and 10 mm. Then what will be the maximum size? 8 minus 1.5, that is 6.5. That will be the maximum. Now see here, in case of this fillet weld, you are connecting this. Now this length is called the leg. This is the leg of the member. This is called as leg. Okay. And this hypotenuse. So this will form a right angle triangle. Clearly, this angle of fusion is 90 degree. So this is one leg, this is one leg. So this is one right angle triangle. Now this length from this origin, from the intersection of these two legs, the point from the intersection of these two legs to the point on the hypotenuse, this perpendicular length, this is called the throat. And this length from here to here, this length is called the size of the weld, and this is called the throat of the weld. So what we do is, if we know the size, we can find the throat. Throat will be equal to K into S. That we'll understand in the next subsequent discussion. We'll understand. So now see here what happens is, now this is equal leg. Sometimes what we do is we increase this length, we increase this leg. So this part is omega. Earlier it was omega, it is omega. This was T. Now we had increased this to 2 omega. or 2W. Now clearly, if we do it, this thickness, as you can, this is the perpendicular distance. This thickness is increasing. How much it is increasing? By 26%. So thought when you increase the length of one of the legs by twice, then the area of throat thickness increases by 100%. Thickness increases by 26%. Now see here, throat increased by 26%, area increased by 59%. Okay, so this you can do unequal. Also leg length, size of the weld can also be unequal. So one size you are taking S, one size you are taking S 2S, but generally it is not done. Rare cases only. Generally you take the size on the both sides as S and S. So this will be K into S. Now what is K? We'll discuss. See, this is for the maximum size of weld. For minimum size of the weld, what you do is you find thickness of the thicker member. You take thickness of the thicker member. If it is 0 to 10, if the thickness lies of the thicker member lies between 0 to 10, minimum size may be 3 mm. Minimum size of weld will be 3 mm. If it is lying somewhere between 10 to 20, then it is 5 mm. If it is 20 to 32, then it is 6 mm. If it is more than 32 to 50, then first do 8 mm run. Then again you have to get two. You have to run the weld twice. First you give 8 mm thickness, 8 mm size of weld, and then in the second run you have to give 10 mm size weld. So these are some of the specification that needs to be remembered. So depending upon the thickness of the members to be fused or to be welded, your size of weld, minimum or maximum size will be taken. Now, while designing the weld, when you assume the size, you first find out what is the maximum, what is the minimum. Take some value which is in between the maximum or the minimum. Do not take the maximum size or the minimum size. Suppose your maximum size is coming as 6.5 mm, okay, as per the thickness, and the minimum size is coming as 5 mm. So if it is so set, so your weld thickness, weld size will lie somewhere between 5 to maximum is 6.5, minimum is 5. Take 6 mm, somewhere between 5 to 6.5. Or if it is 3 mm, then take something between 3 to 6.5. Take 5 mm, like that. That you have to judiciously decide what thickness you have to take. Now, as I told you, effective of C in this figure. Okay, this is S. This is S. So this is 90 degree. So this length, this hypotenuse, this length part of the perpendicular to the hypotenuse, this is nothing but the throat. And that throat thickness is given by K into S, where K is a constant. Now the value of K will depend on the angle of the fusion. So here in this case, see, here in this case, it is 90 degrees. Sometimes this angle may be, this leg may be, may not be connected always perpendicular. This might be inclined at some angle. Okay. Now the angle inclination should always lie between somewhere between 60 to 120. Okay, fillet weld is always recommended for angle of fusion between 60 to 120 degree. If it is more than that, then we go for other welds. We go for butt weld or something else, not fillet weld, because the design strength cannot take that angle. That angle will not be sufficient for the design strength at that case. So if it is lying between 60, if the angle of fusion is 62, angle between the fusion is 60 to 90 degree, take K as 0.7. If it is 91 to 100, it is 0.65. Likewise, if you see, you go on increasing the angle, and this value of K will start decreasing up to 0.5. This you have to take according to the angle. Okay, most of the cases when the angle is between 60 to 90 degree, means up to 90 degree, you take 0.7 straight away. So T will be equal to 0.7 into S. Simple. If the size of the weld is, you are taking as 7 mm or 6.5 mm, 0.7 into, or you are taking size of the weld as 5 mm, 0.7 into 5 is 3.5. Your throat thickness will be 3.5 mm. Okay, like that. So now, this we have understood. Now, design stress, how to find the design stress in a fillet weld. So this is given by design stress of fillet weld is given FWN by gamma MW. Again, nominal strength of the fillet weld by gamma MW. What is nominal strength? FU by √3. Okay. Now, design strength of a fillet weld is based on its throat area and is given by. So this is simple calculation. Force is equal to stress into area. Okay. So this is force. Okay. And what is the stress? Fu by √3. Fu by √3 is the strength. Strength means your Fu is ultimate stress. Fu by √3 is your what? Is your nominal strength, and divide by gamma W is your design strength. So this design stress, see design stress into what is the throat area? Throat area will be length of the weld into throat thickness. The length of the weld is LW. Throat thickness is K into S. Well, LW is the effective length of the weld in millimeter. TT is the throat thickness given by K into S. Fu is ultimate strength of weld in the parent material. Fu you know from the kind of steel you can find out. PDW does design strength in newtons. And again, gamma MW partial safety factor 1.25 for shock welding, 1.5 for site welding. So this way you find the design strength in the fillet weld. Okay. Now this is one another topic, how to find the design strength, how to find the forces in a truss member. What is the design of fillet weld in a truss member? So look carefully. This is one part of a, this is one plate. Okay. Plate means in a truss member. Now you are connecting an angle with this truss member. Now this angle, one leg is connected. Okay. Other leg is free. So this other leg is called the outstanding leg. This is called as the connected leg. Now the connecting leg welding is done on both sides, on the top and on the bottom. Top of this leg and bottom of this leg. So this is a side view. Okay. If you see the front view is like this. So here welding is done, say from on this side like this, welding will be done L2, length is L2. On this side welding is done L1. And this is the H, this is the height, which is 8 height of the angle or the leg of the angle. That can be designated from the angle specification. Okay. If you select any angle, suppose you are selecting 100 by 10 by 100 by 100 by 10. So H will be 100 or 80 by 80 by 10 equal angle you are taking. Then H will be 80. So L1 and L2 you have to design. Suppose, okay. L1 and L2 are the length of the longitudinal fillet welds. Fillet weld we are doing for this angle section. This angle section is connected to this plate or this gusset plate. So we are designing this length and this length. How to design this? So first you find what is the forces. Okay. Due to this welding, when you are doing the welding on this side, there will be a design weld strength, welding strength, or welding. There will be force, design force for this weld, and there will be design force for this weld. So factored, and what is P? P is the, this is here P1 is acting, here P2 is acting, and P is the factored load acting on the CG of the section. P1 is acting on the top, P2 is acting on the bottom, and P is acting on the CG. Okay, so this is the nomenclature that we do. So now if we take moment of the forces about the line L1, suppose you are taking moment about this line. Okay, so this will be P2 into H. So P2 is here. See, P2 is here. P2 into H. This distance H minus P into P minus P into H2. This is H2 and this is H1. So this also you will know from the steel table. You will know what is H1, what is H2. CG distances that are always given for angle sections will be equal to 0. Okay, will be equal to 0 into, and P1 into 0. So P1 is already acting along this line. So P1 into 0, this distance will be 0. So you can find P2 as PH2 by H. Okay, similarly, applying the same concept and take moment about L2. If you do that, you'll find P1 equal to PH1 by H. So what you are doing, you are finding P1 and P2, the design strength of the welds of length L1 and L2. What is the design force, factored force that are being carried by this weld in terms of P, total load carried by the member. Okay. Now, what is P3? P3 is the factored force in the end fillet weld. Okay, and this is given by H into T. That means here. What is the factored force here in this thing? So this is given by H into T, TT, Fu by √3 gamma MW. Now, total length of the weld required is L1 plus L2 plus H. Now, this is L1, this is L2, this is H, this is L2. This is the total length of welding that you need to do. You have to do welding here. This entire length you have to weld for this entire height, and this you have to weld. Okay, so you are finding this. Now, from these equations, you can find what is P1, what is P2. Now, once you find this P1 and P2, you can find what is L1 and L2 using the design strength for fillet welds by taking moments. Like this, taking moment about the line passing through L1, you can write this P2 into H. So P2 into H, see, P2 into H, you are taking moment about this. And P3 into H by 2. P3 is the force, vertical force acting about this thing. H2, H by 2. P3 is the force acting along the H length, along the length of the leg. Okay. So this is P3 into H by 2 minus P into H2 is 0. Then from this you can find P3. So anything you can design. Okay. So this is how the designs for the fillet weld is done. So another topic is there are some welds which are called as intermediate welds. Okay. Intermediate welds means there will, when we do welding, like when we are doing welding, there is a continuous stretch of weld. When you run the weld, when you run the electrode, there will be continuous. Intermediate means you do welding L1, then you leave a gap, then L2, then leave a gap, then L3, then leave a gap. So there is discontinuity in the length of the weld. So this is called as intermediate weld. Remember, intermediate weld is used in stiffeners. When you will study bridges, okay, plate girders and how plate girders are made, stiffeners are made. And when stiffeners are connected to plate girders, in that cases, intermediate welds are used. Then there is plug weld and slots, plugs and slots. That means if you're not utilizing the entire length, you can make the connections like this, groove, in a groove way. So that way you can save the length of the weld. So the various kind of welding are done here, okay, for plugs and slots. So now this completes our welding portion. So in the next class, we'll take up some design problems, some numerical problems, and we'll understand some more understand the design criteria, design aspects more deeply while solving the numerical problems. And that way our welding portion will be done. So 3 units will be done. After that, we'll move to tension members. So thank you for today's class.